Good morning, students. This is Bhavani working as a contract lecturer, Computer Science Engineering, GPW Medak. Third semester, Data Structures through C, Sorting Techniques. Today's topic we will be discussed about the bubble sort. So, in the last section, we discussed about the bubble sort, how bubble sort works. So what is then sorting we studied? Sorting is nothing but arranging the given list of elements in a logical order. It may be ascending or descending order is called sorting. So the main application of sorting technique is databases, dictionaries, telephone directories, so etc. These are all the main application for sorting techniques. Sorting algorithm which help in arranging the records or files in an order such that retrieving makes easy. The sorting algorithms will be allowed the arranging the records in an order because for retrieving it is very easy. So that's why we are using the sorting algorithm. So sorting algorithm is an algorithm made up of series of instructions that takes an array as input. So in algorithm we know that algorithm is nothing but the step by step procedure to solve the problem. Yes, they are the series of instructions. So here in the sorting we will be take the input as an array, so that performs specific operations on array, sometimes called a list also, and output a sorted array. So it takes the input as an array and performs some operation where it will be performing operation on array, so it is called the list. The output a sorted array. Sorting algorithms in computer science, they have the straightforward way to introduce the other key computer topics, that is in like big O notation, divide and conquer methods, data structures, in data structures such as trees, binary trees and heaps. There are the many considered, so choosing the algorithm to use it. Okay, and what is an bubble sort? They are the methods we have the what are the methods means we have the bubble sort is there, insertion sort, quick sort, selection sort, merge sort. We have the different sorting techniques we having. So what is an bubble sort? So bubble sort is nothing but the name, it came from the water, it is and take the idea. Okay, bubble sort will be, it will be move the elements from one element to the another element. It is the simplest sorting technique. Bubble sort is the simplest sorting techniques when compared with all other sorting techniques. Why means here it will be compare the adjacent techniques, compare the adjacent elements and interchange if necessary. If it is necessary only it will be interchanged, otherwise it won't do. So till the first pass, what it will be, the first largest element will be moved to the last index of the array. Okay, if we take an array, there are the n elements to be sorted. In the first pass, what will be, we will be compare 1 and 2 elements, that is an a of 0 and a of 1. If a of 0 is greater than a of 1, then interchange the element in case of ascending order, otherwise don't need. So if you need ascending, we have to be, so if you are descending, there is no need to change. So like that it will be compare a of 1 and a of 2 elements. If a of 1 is greater than a of 2, then interchange the element. This process will be repeat until last two elements are comparing. Repeat the first pass in case of remaining passes until all the elements in the given list are sorted. It has to be compared till the pass. So how many means, how many passes means n minus 1 passes has to be do. The processing part. So after completion of the first pass, the first element is placed in nth position, not in the first. So you have to remember, yeah, after completion of first pass, the first largest element where in the nth position. After completion of the second pass, second largest element is placed at n minus 1. In the ith pass, ith largest number is placed in the n into I minus 1 position. If the elements are not in the second order, then bubble sort algorithm requires n minus 1 passes. How many passes we will do? N minus 1 passes. If the elements are in the sorted order, then bubble sort algorithm requires only one pass. So this is the use of the bubble sort. Now this is the last class we discuss. So today's topic, what we have to discuss: the bubble sort example, algorithm for bubble sort, program on bubble sort, what is time complexity and what is an space complexity we will be seeing. So I am taking example first pass. In the first pass, 5 4 3 5 1 4 2 8 I took it, 1 5 4 2 8. So first in the bubble sort, here the first two elements has to be compared. So while comparing, 5 is greater than 1, so condition is true. So we have to be interchange. Yes, now swapping should be done. So that's why 1 5 4 8 4 2 8 will become. So next 4 and 5 has to be compared. So 5 and 4 has to be compared, since the swapping should be done. 1 4 5 2 8. Next what we have to be compared? 5 and 2. Again the swapping should be done. 1 4 2 5 and 8 you will be getting. Next 5 and 8. So since these elements are already in order, so the algorithm does not swap. This is the first pass. So till the last element, the first largest element will be placed in the nth position. In the second pass, next 1 and 2, there is no need to swap. 4 and 2, now swap should be done. 1 2 4 5 8. Next 4 and 5, there is no need to swap. 5 and 8, there is no need to swap. Now the array is ready, sorted, but our algorithm does not know if it is completed. The algorithm needs one whole pass without any swap to know it is sorted. So we know that it is by theory we can be identifying, by practical the computer cannot understand. So that's why it will be sorted all the passes, whether the elements are sorted or not, it will be check it. So in the third pass, 1 and 2, so there is no need to swap. 2 and 4, no need to swap. 4 and 5, no need to swap, and 5 and 8. So all the elements are in the sorted order. Okay, so like that it will be check it. So what is an algorithm will be take it. So in sorting algorithm will be take the input as an array. Yes, now only we discuss, it will be take the input as an array. So that's why I am declaring here the list of elements will be array. We have to be declared and we have to perform the operation, and then we will be get the output as an sorted array. Suppose the list of numbers a of 1 to a of n is in memory. Now, and we have to sort these elements in an ascending order. Then bubble sort algorithm works as follows. Pass 1. Compare a of 1 and a of 2 and arrange them in an order so that a of 2 is greater than 1. Then compare 2 and 3 and arrange them so that a of 3 is greater than a of 2. Continue until we compare a of n minus 1 with a of n and arrange them a of n greater than a of n minus 1. till that we have to be compare. The above passes involves n minus 1 comparisons. When this pass is completed, the largest element is placed at the nth position. In other words, after this pass, the largest element of the array will occupy the position A of n. A of n. So the largest element will be occupied in the where means nth position, that is an A of n in the first pass. In the second pass, the second largest number has to be placed in the second largest element, that is an n minus 1. Now the largest element is at the right position in the array. So now repeat this process for remaining n minus 1 elements. That is, now we will stop after we compare and rearrange A of n minus 2 and A of n minus 1. Pass 2 involves n minus 2 comparisons, and when this pass is completed, the second largest element will occupy the position where, that is an A of n minus 1 position will be placed. Next, pass 3. Repeat the above process the remaining A of 2 element. This time the third largest element will be occupy the position where means A of n minus 2, because the second element will be placed in the A of n minus 1, and next third element has to be placed at the A of n minus 2, whereas the first element where we have to be, that is an A of n, second A of n minus 1, and then the third pass, the third largest element has to be kept in the A of n minus 2. Pass n minus 1, compare last two elements A of 1 and A of 2 and arrange them in order so that A of 2 is greater than A of 1. After n minus 1 passes, the list will be sorted in increasing order. Note: the process of sequentially transversing a list or part of a list is called pass. So what is an pass? The process of sequentially transversing. What is an transversing? Is nothing but at least one element, at least we have to visit the given element has to be visited at least once. That is called the transversing. Yeah, the pass itself, we have to be, the list has to be visit, we have to identify at least once in the given list. So that is called the pass. The process of sequentially transversing a list or part of a list is called a pass. Okay, this is a pass. So we will take one example. Here what we are doing, we have to be checking the condition, that is for the if we need for the array we have to take, if you want to perform the read operation, we have to use a loop, and further to read and write we have to use a looping process part should be there. So that's why I am taking the array here, and next for the swapping I need the temp variable and I and j and the n, how many elements I need to be. Okay, so printf enter the n number of elements, how many elements if I need it. If I need the 5 elements, enter the 5, and next check the condition, that is an 5 greater than, what is the maximum, 100. If it is condition is true, it will be print input size is greater than declared size. If it is true means, if it is false, it will be come out and enter the n elements. So I am using to enter the elements in the array. If I take the 5, for I is equals to 1 is less than or equals to n and I plus plus. then it will be take the input element, that is an address of element I. Okay, and next for the input reading, now processing part. How? For I is equals to 1, I is less than or equals to n minus 1 and not sorted, and I has to be incremented. If condition is true, it will be sort is equals to becomes the 1. And next j is equals to 1, j is less than n minus I, j plus plus. If condition is true, j and n, then it will be check the element position and next it will be swap the values. So it will be continue till the first pass. If the first pass completed, then again it will be go there. Okay, all the swap the elements we will be check it. For the printing purpose, I am taking I is equals to 1, I is less than or equals to n, I plus plus. Now it will be print the sorted array list. The sorted array values will be listed here. If element j is greater than element j plus 1, if the j and j plus 1 condition is true, then swapping will be. If condition is false, it has to be increment the j value. J also, j and n value condition false, where it has to be go, it has to be come out from the loop, again I has to be incremented for the second pass. Till the first pass, you will be get the jth largest element will be placed. The second largest element, the cursor will be moved to the I. The ith position, how many elements? So one pass it will be incremented. This is an outer loop and this is an inner loop. Till that it will be complete. What is then time complexity? So we know that time complexity is nothing but, what is then time complexity? It is the time complexity is nothing but it is the amount of time taken to complete the execution of a problem. Yes, how much time it is required to complete the execution of a problem is called time complexity. The execution timely depends on the size of data input. So the execution will be depends on the how much input we are taking, how many elements we are taking. If I take the 10, it takes the more time to execute. If I take the 5 elements, it take the less average time to execute. Yes, so the time complexity of an algorithm is a function f of n of input size n. N is nothing but the size, f is nothing but the function. So generally there are the 3 types of representing the time complexities, that is in big O notation, omega notation and theta notation. Okay na? There are the 3 cases in time complexities for representation: best case, worst case and average case. So best case is nothing but in this algorithm takes minimum time to execute for the given input size. Worst time in this algorithm takes maximum time to execute for a given input size. Average algorithm takes average time between minimum time and maximum time to execute for a given input size. So these are the 3 cases representation for the time complexities, that is in best case, worst case and average case. In the best case, the algorithm take how much minimum time, the minimum time has to be executed, that is called the best. If it is take the maximum time, it is an average between minimum and maximum between time, that is an average. Okay, so these are the 3 cases for the time complexities. Let me see what are they. The time complexity for bubble sort is calculated in terms of number of comparisons, that is an f of n, or number of loops. So to calculate the time complexity, we will be take comparisons, that is an f of n, we will be take it. Here two loops, outer loop and inner loop. Let just we see now for the iteration, for repeat the comparisons, because the I has to be incremented. So for that the looping will be done. For the repetition purpose it will be take. So we have the outer loop and the inner loop. In our program, which is the inner and the outer, means J is an inner loop and I is an outer loop. So we are taking the two loops, inner and the outer, for the comparing, and we are interchanging. Okay, here how many loops we needed? We need the two loops, outer loop and inner loop. Yes, further repeat the comparisons. The inner loop is iterated one less than number of elements in the list. How many times it will be repeated? That is an n minus 1. If I have the n number, so how many times it will be repeated? Till the n minus 1 times every iteration of the outer loop. N minus 1 comparison during the first pass. N minus 2 comparison during the second pass, and so on. It will be compared, and next we will be the passes will be completed. So total comparisons, how many we are taking? N minus 1 plus n minus 2 plus n minus 3 up to 2 plus 1, that is an n into n minus 1, n into n minus 1. So what is n into n minus 1 is nothing but big O of n square, big O of the n square, not the n2, that is an n square. N into n minus 1, it will be give the big O notation. We have the three notations I said na. Yes, that is an it will be take the big O of the n square. Best case, which is the best case, means in the best cases all the comparisons to be performed, but exchange may not happen, assuming that they are already in ascending order. If they are in the ascending order, there is no need to swap. If it is not there, then the swapping will be done. So that is in best case. So if f of n be the complexity where n number of elements in the list, then total comparisons are how many comparisons? N minus 1 plus n minus 2 plus n minus 3 till n plus 2 plus 1. So total exchanges are 0, means there is no exchange, all are in the ascending order. So what is the best we will be get it? F of n is equals to n minus 1, n minus 2. I am keeping in the equation form. We will be 2 into n minus 1 plus n minus 2 plus n minus 3 up to 2 plus 1. So what is then n into n minus 1 by 2? N into n minus 1 by 2 means nothing but n square by 2. Yeah, that is then big O of the n square, you will be get it. There is no exchanges, means you will get it. In the best case, we are sorted a sorted array by bubble sort algorithm. In best case, outer loop will terminate after one iteration. The outer loop, what will be completion? It will be come out from the loop. So it involves performing one pass, which required how many passes? Comparison n minus 1 comparison. So f of n is equals to big O of the n square. What is the best case? Means we have the big O of the n square, that is an best case. Worst case. So worst case also we have, suppose the array 5 4 3 2 1, we need to move first element to the end of the array, that is an n minus 1, requires swapping procedure. So it is to be called f of n is equals to big O of the n square. So even the worst case also we have the big O of the n square. The worst case of bubble sort is big O of n square. What is an average? Average means it is difficult to analyze than the other cases. Random inputs. So we have the big O of the n square only. Okay. The average and worst case complexities of bubble sort is big O of the n square. Also it makes big O of the n square swaps in the worst case also. Bubble sort is adaptive. Okay, adaptive. It means for almost sorted array it's given big O of the n estimations. Avoid implementation which does not check if the array is already sorted on every step. Any swaps made, it won't be checked. This is a drawback in the bubble sort. Even it is sorted also, it will be checked again. So in the average and the worst case we have the same time complexities, that is an big O of the n square. So this check is necessary in order to preserve the adaptive property. Whether it is in the order or the not, it has to be checked. Yeah, it is already in the sorted also, it will be checked and it will be need to compare. Yeah, it will be checking purpose will be there. So what is an space complexity? Yes, what is in space? The time is nothing but the time complexity. What we telling, the amount of time is required, the amount of time taken to complete the execution of the thought, that is an time complexities. The space complexity is nothing but the amount of memory we needed, amount of memory needed for the execution of an algorithm. How much space is needed for an array? Yes, how much amount of memory needed for the execution of an algorithm? Yes, by reducing space processing time will increase, the time will be increase. Increasing space time will be decrease. So memory space is inversely proportional to the processing time. So the time complexity is nothing but amount of memory is needed for the execution of an algorithm. So what is the space complexity? The space complexity is nothing but big O of the n, because we are taking only one array, we are not taking any additional array. So within the single array we are considering, that is an n elements we are taking, that is an big O of the n. That's why the space complexity is an big O of the n. Okay. So in this section we discussed about the algorithm, yeah, how the step by step process we consider, and what are the passes we stepped, and what is in program, how what are the variables we declared, how the processing part, yeah, what is an output we are taking, how the input, and what is the time complexity as well as the space complexity of the bubble sort. Okay, these are the topic we discussed. In the next class we discussed about selection sort. Selection sort, how to select, because in the bubble sort we have the drawbacks. Even in the repetition also we need to checking all the elements again and again. That's why the memory, the time it is requiring more. So that's why we are going for the selection sort. So what is in selection sort, tomorrow we will be seeing what is in selection sort, how it is work, how to implement, and what is an algorithm, and what is an program, what is the time complexity, and what is the space complexity is required for the bubble sort, for the selection sort. Tomorrow we will be seeing. Okay, thank you.